If you're a member of Enjoying Art, you can join my 2-day in-person portrait workshop for free in California this summer. Interested? Join us today on Patreon and get lots of benefits as a member. There's a one-point perspective in this challenge. Perspective, you only use it when you need to do art. Let's talk about how we use the perspective in here. Here, closer to us, farther away, and it will look smaller and smaller and smaller. Eventually, it will look like a disappear. The disappear point, we call vanishing point. And the vanishing point would apply to all the line parallel to each other. Use that would make our drawing and painting much easier and faster. If you find a vanishing point, you will be able to draw from the vanishing point to connect to each of those windows. And for this building, I'm going to do it right over here coming down the bottom of the street. So this is the front over here. Continue, get all the elements together and look at the top of the roof. And I can actually move it a little bit lower. It don't have to be that. Now we're going to use the vanishing point. Now the perspective. You can put the ruler over here. You can give the same distance from the ruler, so you can find this good. And here we go, like that. And this is not a pencil, so you just keep the same distance from the ruler and coming here, the vertical line coming down over here, and there is a bridge over here. We're gonna make it a little bit softer, right? The bridge coming over here like that, and then we're gonna put the main figures right over here. So I'm gonna put him right in the middle of the building over here, right here at the top. You can draw it bigger, longer, like that, all the way coming to the leg right here. So look at that, the figure's right almost like right on this line, is right in the middle. So you can, and then you can add other, make it a little bit wider. Like so always draw the central part first. That knowing that how tall, what's the top, what's the bottom. Do that, and then here you go. A little bit wider. And then the leg on the back. And then we have the location. This man. Assuming it's a man. And that could be. Okay, now we have that. That's the shape. Now we're going to add some other elements to make this artworks look more interesting. So as we talk about that in the drawing exercise, we're also going to put the street over here to be pointing, also the side of the street pointing to the vanishing point. So we're going to have that connected this way. This is the side of the street going into that, and we also want this. You can want everything. I can look at over here. Let's mark it. This would be the street over here. There is just a little bit coming in as the snow track. I also want to connect it to the vanishing point, so that it will look like the whole system. So I can do that. I'm going to make it a little bit darker. And here you go. Coming over here. The same distance away from. So this is good. You got that. So every line, it should be connecting to the vanishing point. Okay. Like this. And another side of it. Okay. Go through the vanishing point. And make sure it's all going through the vanishing point. But again, when you're doing the drawing, it's very light, so it won't be showing much at the end. So it's okay. You're actually training your mind to see all this. And we also want to point it. This would be another line going to this side, the vanishing point. Okay, this is good. Like that, going over. And now see all those lines coming into as the same system. So I'm also going to put the building in the back over here. And take a look at this building. And coming over here. And all the line actually going up to the other vanishing point way up there, because it's going a little bit smaller and smaller to the top. So I want the top over here to coming this way. Now also this a part of the building over here, but now we need to find out where exactly, since this is the top and this is the top over here, but we don't know the edge over here, how it would look like, right? And the edge over here. And now you use the vanishing point and take a look at here. Go to the vanishing point, because that also should be a level line. The level line should be parallel to the whole one-point perspective system. So now see that always go through the vanishing point. Now I'm going to draw this line over here. So that's the angle. And the top over there, we also take a look at here. This should be very stiff, like just like this. That's good, right there. So this will be a good guideline. So if you need to, just use a pencil, draw out. It's a good idea to use a pencil for any has a complex perspective or obvious perspective painting. So now I'm going to top of the roof, also over here from the vanishing point going up. That's good. Now you can see that right there, the top of the roof. Look like that. So, okay, there is also something over here on this side. And we seeing another vertical line. And on the building over here, I'm going to have that, some vertical line, a few lines like this. Okay, and going up there, it may be tilted a little bit too much, so you can have it come back to a little bit more vertical. That's just good, like that. So those lines, you see those lines, there's two lines over here, also need to go into the vanishing point. Okay, it just need to, the hardest is to recognize what line they actually should be part of the system. Not every line is part of the system, but some line it will be part of the system. But if you want, you're gonna have it from here, and so from the vanishing point starting, draw the line over like that. So basically over here, all the horizontal line, all the line that are supposed to be level to the earth, that's supposed to be all parallel to each other. But looking at the bridge over here, in the middle over here, the bridge, but the bridge also level, but the bridge is not on the same direction as this building, right? It's 90 degrees to it, so it doesn't count into part of this system. It will be count with the system on its own over here. And maybe this system are also on the floor. If it's going to the same direction of line. Hopefully that makes sense, right? All right, this is good. And the rest, and you can continue building it. For example, if you find out also the vertical line, where it's going to disappear at the top, and I bet that point will be very, very far from here, because it's going a little bit very slow and coming in. So if you find that, have a string tied into that point, you can actually hold the string over here. You can do all the vertical line and would make them to be all coming to the harmonic perspective system. Okay, now I'm going to also have this dark building over here. and it looks like right here, like that. That's the building all the way top. And we also have a pose, and also coming all the way down over here, and to the, not this much, right here, end it over there, like that. That have a vertical line that make it the more integrate and more interesting. Okay, now I'm gonna looking at this row of window, also going to the same vanishing point. Now let's use the ruler. The top, the bottom of the window going through over here. Here we go, all the way. And look at the top over here, the window row. Make sure it's just go through that vanishing point. Okay, that's good. Oh, here we go. Now going from here, just over. That's good. Now you can see the top of the window, the bottom of the window, even though there's also some very soft windows, right? And this is a line, the light vertical line. I'm gonna put it here. This is maybe the middle one, and there will be two more, one here, and okay, this one a little bit more away, so you can measure that how far the distance between those. You need to find it the same way you find everything else. That is also the last one. We'll put it over here. So now we need to know that the bottom, where is this line up? You need to line up with the vanishing point. So that means this, if go with this as is go with this the bottom, and this would be here, and this would be here, and that would be here, so that they are all parallel to the whole system, like that. This is good, right? And here we go. Open the window over here. You just need to find it as where's the bottom of that window, right? And what's the bottom of that window? I have another window over here. So I need to use the vanishing point, and this row of window, it will be here like this. That's good. And the bottom of this, you thought you get it, but you need to make sure double check with everything that you do, right? That's good. And going up like that. Okay. And looks pretty good. Everything that you will need is already in place. And we can do one more. I think this can be, for this shape, we can put one more. Oop. Right here. Like that. So now we're getting very much everything ready for the painting. Any questions at this point? It's supposed to be a simple thing, but you need to get used to be critical and finding all the line before you start the painting. But before you find the line, you have to knowing that the arrangement, the composition, you need to be in the way that you want it. And then you're going to start put all the system together. Like for example, this vertical over here also need to be going toward the approaching the same vanishing point at the top, right? So here you go. I'm going to draw this. Okay, and this point right here, going a little bit more toward the center. Okay, that's good. Like that. And this one also going in a little bit. Okay, that should be good enough. All right, now we're gonna start the painting. So how are we gonna start the painting? Just like the way we have been painting on any other painting, with or without perspective in it. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna start looking at where are the light area, and we're gonna leave it alone, and where is the area that is not light. So I'm not gonna make it too realistic, but something you need to keep in mind: the light areas right in the middle over here, and the rest are getting a little bit darker. Okay, so if you want, you can use um, the masking fluid to mask some of the shape, or maybe not. All right, so you have to do a very, very wet. I'm going to start from a little bit darker. I'm going to have that. Look at this. I'm going to start with maybe somehow a little bit lighter. I'm going to start it right here. Let's see, this is the color right. I'm going to have a little bit more. And I'm going to decide to use gross white for all those light shape. So we don't need to worry too much about where it's going to leave those, because that's going to be too much hassle and take away all the fun that you are supposed to be have. So I'm going to have it right over here. And I'm going to paint around this shape. Okay, this shape we can avoid it. Then use this as a way of making. Here you go. Use this as the way of making the. I'm gonna also leave this white. Okay, here you go. As wet the paper. Okay, get the paper wet. Okay, here you go. I'm going to just use this light blue color to have it wet. Here you go. That's good. And as all the window over here, actually is the color ended up is still going to be blue, right? We're just going to have this crossover. That's okay. So coming down over here, and this window, we can leave it. I'm not actually, depends on the gross white. Okay, gross white would be helpful, but if something you can avoid it, you can do it without the gross white. Do it without it. Okay, this is good. I'm going to continue over here and coming toward the part that is going to light. I'm going to leave this a little white over there too. And here you go. Now with the whole paper already wet, instead of just wet it with the water. And now what I'm going to do in the middle over here, I'm going to light it up a little bit by leaving up some paint. I'm going to have this a little bit lighter, like this. Okay, keep a little bit more kind of interesting, glowing feeling. Okay, here you go. Here you go. That's good. I'm going to make it a little bit lighter. Just lift up the color. Okay, keep using the water. Okay, here we go. Now here what I'm going to do, I'm going to start pursuing even darker. So okay, get the red with the blue color. Now it's get a lot darker. Now I'm going to coming from the outside again, and like that. Now getting into the sky and the building. Okay, and let it come down a little bit, and over here now I can paint it around the window shape. Okay, you don't have to be too careful about, like I say, oh, it's so stressful. with the perspective, and I lost all the fun. In that case, don't make it too nervous about that. It's okay that you don't have to get everything just right. If you're aware of the perspective, that's already good enough. Now I'm going to make the darker color on the ground. Just get the blue color and the red. Let's see, the right on the front over here. I'm also gonna paint it directly go toward the vanishing point. I still have the vanishing point over there, red, still standing over there. Here you go, like this. And on this side, I'm gonna make it darker, get a little bit more red with the blue, and actually here it will be a lot of red. Okay, here you go, and get a little bit more blue. Yeah, very dark. Okay, here you go. Now you almost lost the line already, like that. This is fine. I'm gonna have something over here coming down. Okay, coming down all the way over here, like this. Okay, all right. Getting more and more darker and darker, more and more scary. Okay, now the top over here, and coming down, wet into wet. This is good. And I'm gonna come into the building over here, and I have it a little bit wet. That's okay. And you barely can see all the line, so which is you'll not be able to see it. That will be fine. And coming over here, now I'm gonna have something very softer, like that. Just clean the brush, just dilute the paint, and let it, we can add that a little bit lighter shape a little bit later. Now I'll give a little suggestion that after building in the back over there, right? So now at this point, we need to do a little bit reorganizing. First thing, we want this light coming up, so you lift up the color, or kind of like a look very interesting. And over here, from here, going away, and a little bit away, like lift up the light shape. Okay, lift up the light shape. Use the brush to lift up the light shape. Oh, that's good. The important thing is don't lose your focus. You see this, the vanishing point, so I'm gonna move it like away from the vanishing point. So that's good. And there's lots of wet accumulate at the bottom, which is you don't see in the camera. I need to lift that up, otherwise accumulate too much. So I'm gonna be here, this side over here, also lift up some when this is wet into wet, and also with the texture, very interesting. Okay, that's good. And you can see actually this line also connected to the vanishing point, right? Okay, here you go, a little bit over here, and there's also pointing to the vanishing point. I'm gonna have it lift a little bit, and over here a little bit out a little bit, lift a little bit. Okay, this is getting better. I'm gonna have this one more, and when this is wet, the wet paint always merge back and going back together, so you need to make sure that is keep lifting it, adjusting it. That's good, like that. Take a little bit like that right here. Okay, that's good. Now it's getting there, very nice. Now I'm gonna over here, I'm gonna just lifting up a little bit. You don't have to. Okay, this is at the middle of the drying already, so you don't need to actually lift much. And I'm going to just use the water to lift a little bit. Okay, at this point, we need to just leave it alone and let it dry before we come back to do that space. So at this point, I'm going to continue going into use the same color. I'm going into here for the window. I'm going to looking at the window over here. Okay, the same dark color. And since we already have the top and the bottom, and here you go. Vertical, all coming up to the same window, the same vanishing point direction. Okay, that's good. And the window. Okay, now those just simple vertical line. Okay, that's good. Gonna keep that. The interesting line coming up like this, showing. Keep it up like this. Okay, that's enough details for that. It may be too much, too dark, but we come back to do a little bit more after you dry. So over here, we have the little line over here for the vanishing point. Going into the vanishing point, I'm gonna have this. That's good. That's good enough. And I'm gonna have also some vertical line. You don't have to make it like a very clear. Don't need to. Okay, over here a little bit blue color. I'm gonna have it here from here, a little bit more blue. And also the shape going into the same vanishing point. So also going to have some vertical line over here coming down like this. That's good. And give a little suggestions. And I'm going to have that little blue color for the bridge. So where's the bridge? The bridge is about here. Okay, like that, going over. You don't have to make it too clear either. That's just good. I'm gonna have this very soft line. Just give a little line going over here, and a few lines like this. Look before you continue. Okay, and then some line and coming down over here, and here you go. That's good. And up over here can be a little bit softer. And all right, now I'm gonna, since everything else looks like is still going, and now I'm going to add some, maybe paint the person a little bit more. Get a little bit more blue. Take a look at the head. Perspective is very helpful. Perspective is not something you're painting. It's actually a system to help you to capture the perspective system. Okay, and find the logic of the light and dark. Commonly, there's a perspective 1 point, which is only have one group of parallel system, and there's 2 point, there's 3 point. There's also aerial perspective, which is the object close to us. It will be darker and more contrast, brighter, and object far away from us, more flat, less details, and less bright. So that is something we all know about. but so easy we can get lost into the details, and you need to use that as a also important guideline for us to keep in mind. Just also area of perspective, part of the perspective system. Okay, that's good. Let's enjoy little by little. Okay, this is good. The bottom over here, I'm gonna make it also a little bit darker, so have a little bit darker color. And here you go. And then over here, that's good. Look at it first. That's good. It looked like this need to be, the top need to move a little bit forward, because look like there's too much to the back. Like that. That's good. Okay, so the foot over here also merge into the, and take a look at vanishing point. Keep looking at it. Now that's good. Draw the line approaching to that vanishing point. Like that. That's good. You can do another line approaching to the vanishing point again. Like this. This is good. Some little line over here. They're making it very interesting. And that's good. At the front over here, and I'm gonna get a little bit more darker color right here. Here you go. Going that to the some dry brushes. Make sure it's pointing to the vanishing point. It will be making it interesting. This system. Okay, here you go. Like that. And going to the vanishing point. Okay, that's good. Okay, have some dry brushes, because it's so close to us. Let's give a little bit details. That's good. All right, there's some dry brushes over here at the front. If there's too much, you can soften it, organize it a little bit later. Okay, we have enough thing going on at the front over here. All right, let's do a little bit. You see that somewhere over here close to the light, it had a little bit more brighter blue color, so make sure that have a little bit brighter blue color for the pose over here. And we're gonna have the line coming down. This is the shadow side. That's good. And then we're gonna have a little bit darker, the base of this pose right over here. That's good. And there's a little bit darker. That's interesting. Now we can, the top over here almost dry. This is good. Still a little wet. So I'm gonna have the pose for over here to coming down a little bit darker. And from here. Okay, here you go. If you cannot do one straight line continuous, just pause it and continue. Okay, now I have the pose over here, make it interesting. Now we're gonna add some other accessory, like for example, that is a street sign over here, say one way, right? I draw a rectangular line like that. Don't make it too dark. All right, so I'm gonna have that little dark box over here, the traffic light, and here you go. That another one, and you don't have to make exactly as many as that. That'll be good. Okay, another some boxes over here. There's dress it up. Okay, that's interesting. And all right, on the side over here, we're gonna add the side street over here, a little bit shadow, And we're gonna have that some shape right at the bottom over here, like over here. Just a little shape, interesting, like that. And okay, now I'm gonna also make this, the bottom of this pose, a little bit darker over here, a little bit darker. So be patient. So you see that there's no difference that when we're doing any other paintings without perspective. You have to start from larger shape and masking out the area, the big area, and then making sure that in the middle over here it will be a little bit lighter compared to the darker areas. So I'm gonna actually coming back over here, have that little bit lighter blue color. Just use the water, soften it. And I'm gonna have that little bit blue color over here. Okay, coming up. Can refine that and look at it again. It's refined it, how it look like. And then some watercolor. Okay, here you go, like this. That's good. And we're gonna add some gloss white back to it, and that's getting there. And the painting is almost like in a nice a way of balance is already there. After this fully dry, and you can also have another great glazing on that if you want to. So now I'm gonna have some a little bit lighter blue color. I'm gonna coming over here. That's the light over there, most of the light over there. So the cast to shadow is running away from the light. Yes, like this. This is good. Right? Oh, I like this very much. Okay, here you go. Have a little bit shape, making a lot more interesting. Now we're looking at, oh, this is man. The cast to shadow should be also here in the same angle. So let's put that here. Okay, that's good. And like that. Okay, I'm gonna make some really dark color at the front over here. Now is the time. So just the blue and the red color. And looking at the vanishing point. Okay, here you go. Now I'm gonna have this. Okay, draw some really dark color, and also the foot. Like that. Keep it a little bit lost. That will be fine. That's interesting. Okay, a little bit soft because the color is very thick. So it was still, the surrounding is soft, but still seeing that it's very clear. It's a darker shape. And the tip of the shoe a little bit bended. Okay, this is good. I'm probably going to have, actually I like the look of losing into the environment, this figure, and somehow I just wanted to be a little bit more clear, but I was happy with that. Now I change it. Okay, have a little bit more. I also filled in here a little bit blue color. Okay, this is good. Okay, all right, this is good. And we can have also a little blue color, a little bit brighter blue color. I'm gonna have the blue color actually from here. Look at this, is pointing to the vanishing point, and this side also pointing to the vanishing point. Each line is going into the vanishing point. Okay, maybe I'm saying that too many times. Yeah. Okay, here you go. Over here, a little bit, just the snow. So I'm gonna have a little bit uneven. Okay, here you go. Right there. Also going to the, on this side, going to the vanishing point. Now, because I shading this area a little bit darker, that making that it look more interesting, going a little bit more lighter, like a very dynamic. I also go into the a little bit blue color. Okay, a little bit blue color right here. Also going into here. A little big shape going toward the side street. Like that. Okay, that's good. I can shade that also a little bit. Feel a little bit dry brushes. Okay, that's good. And go into the vanishing point. Just keep comparing. Remind yourself, where's the vanishing point? And okay, that's good. I'm gonna have that little bit blue mix into this. I'm gonna have this. Here you go. Okay, here you go. Like this. And a little bit more reflection. Okay, that's good. A little bit dark color over here. And here you go. Some pointing to the vanishing point. Have a little thing over here at the bottom of the building going into the vanishing point again. Okay, and this is looks interesting getting. I'm gonna have this now also have some detail coming down. I'm gonna actually even create the illusion of the window. Okay, like this, the window, and the top of this go into the vanishing point, right here. That's good. Here you go, going to that. That's getting interesting, and a little bit more blue color, and keep shading it right here. A little bit more blue. Okay, that's good. And you can stop the painting at any point. Even now, you say, oh, I'm done. And it will be fine. And making sure this is already dry. So I'm going to have a little bit nice light gear effect over there. So I'm going to use the flat brush. And I'm going to do a little bit. Raise it. Raise that a little bit. That's very easy. You don't want to overdo it though. Okay. Just I have a little suggestions. That's good enough. Now maybe now is all good enough, right? So just a couple times and you can get what you look for. I'm gonna have a little bit over here. Just use the corner of this brush. Okay, like this. Like this. Couple times. You can actually make the illusion. Some light. Actually is. So this, you better do it after the area dry, right? You don't want to do that when it's just wet. So in that case, when it's just the painting still wet, it actually make all the texture would also moving away from each other. So I'm gonna have that a little bit lighter here too, a little light gear, just a little bit. So you erase a little bit, and you're gonna see the illusion. Okay, nice. I'm gonna have this. That's good. Like a ghost light. Okay. And now also going to have a little bit light blue color. Also here, I'm gonna coming down over here. Okay, here you go. I'm now just going to actually use just the corner of the brush, making some of the shape. Okay, like that. That's good. And shade it over here. Okay, that's good. All right, now over here too, I don't want it to be so light. So I'm gonna have this shaded over here, even darker. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna shade that a little bit dimmer. Even the whole thing need to be a little bit darker. Okay, I think that's too light, pop up too much. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, now I'm gonna come into use the gouache white. Now here we go. Now it's there. Okay. I'm gonna come into where we're gonna start. Okay, looks like this person's standing a little bit still, so I'm gonna actually have a little bit over here, fix the front over here, and a little bit softer, like that. The back over here a little bit higher, okay, and a little bit softer, and I'm gonna have that over here. Here you go, a little bit curve, like that. That's good, and that's nice. And here, and make the leg feel a little bit more bended. Okay, like this. This is good. Oh, that's good. Like that. A little bit softer. Okay. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now I'm gonna come into using the gross white because we're gonna use quite a bit. So I'm gonna have some over here. That's good enough. Okay. If you need more, come back to get more. So alright, this is good. Now let's take a look at the first thing I'm going to do is under here some reflection. Ooh, that's good. Like that. A couple of things at the front over here. Ooh, is that so soft? This is good. Alright, now I'm going to come in here. I have a little bit white over here. And I have some light color. See there, it's going to fade away. That's kind of interesting too. And have the white, have the water doing the work, and just drop it in. I'm gonna have this a little bit dropping in right over here. This is good. And see, that's good. I'm gonna have some white over here. You see that it's because of the wet. It make it feel like. I'm gonna put this white over here too. And I'm gonna put the glowing white, the like a ball over here. That's good. I'm gonna put a couple things over here in this window. Okay, now I'm gonna have some. Take a look at over here. It's already dry. Okay, I want it to be a little bit wet. So I'm gonna have a couple light over here and make the brush tip to be rounded. Okay, here you go. A little bit more. Here you go. That's good. A little bit light over here. And a little light over here. And a little vertical light like this. And vertical line over here. And that's good. Wow, that's good. Also a little bit light over here too. That's interesting. And this can be a little bit bigger, moving a little bit more. And the edge over here on this pose, I'm gonna have just a little bit light. Just draw the thin line. Okay, be patient. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna have some really light, but it's not just white. It have a little bit blue. So I'm gonna get a little bit blue color. Mix that in. Okay. Now I'm gonna have a little bit line on the edge over here. Be patient. Okay, this is good. Like that. That's good. And since we have this color, and we're gonna do that in the building, far away over here, there's a little bit more. And I'm gonna have that one row of window, a few dots. It's good enough. And then 1, 2, 3, vertical. Okay, have a little bit light over here. It's still a little wet, which is perfect. Like that. Gonna have a little row over here. Now, perfect. Now I'm gonna keep going with the light over here. I'm gonna set the light right over here. Okay, it's a little bit fade away, even better. Okay, now I'm gonna have, looking at the vanishing point over there, and the next one should be here. Okay, look at the vanishing point. I'm gonna put a little bit more over here. That the last one is gonna be here. Okay, that's just good. And I'm gonna have some a little bit light, a little bit could be window gear. Okay, a little bit light, and like that. This is good. Have a little bit light vertical coming down like this, and that's pretty good. And a little bit coming down, and also in the distance, have a little bit light coming down. That's in the distance, like all those light need to be somehow connected to the vanishing point. Okay, just like that. I'm gonna have a little bit more of the light like that in the distance, and right under here also can have a little bit light like this. Okay, that's good. And some light in the distance here. I'm gonna have some a little bit brighter right on the top over here. There you go. Now I can even cover the vanishing point. It's already almost done with the. Okay, that's good. And some light on the back over here. Now I'm gonna have this a little bit round shape. That's good. Now we're gonna take a look at the vertical line, a little bit warmer color. So I'm gonna have a little bit red color first. Right, but it don't have to be so clear. So I have a little bit water and just light, very light. So here you go. Now don't want it to be too much, just a little bit lighter, just lighter. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna take a look. Where is it? We're gonna do the one over here, right? One right here on the edge, right on the edge. So I'm gonna do it from here down softly. Okay, that's good. Look at it, slowly coming down. Okay, look at it again. Is that what it's supposed to be? Okay, here you go. Now coming down about here, like that. That may be too much, but we're gonna see. It may be add some warm color, a little bit more warm color to it. It's very interesting. Now I'm looking at there's vanishing point over here, and this supposed to be here, the front. Okay, right here. Okay, right over there. Make sure it fit into the system, right? Now this is good. I'm gonna only do one over here. Here you go. Okay, look at it again. Is that what it's supposed to be? Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna make this a little bit softer. Okay, here you go. A little bit softer, like that. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna take a look at, there's two more, right? So I'm gonna take a look at the distance. One here and one here, and so this one is a little bit closer. Okay, a little bit here. Okay, so the bottom is all lined up to the vanishing point. Okay, this is good. I'm gonna coming back over here, look like from here going down all the way to this line. Okay, going a little closer. Okay, coming a little bit more to here. That's good. Now I'm gonna do one more right here, and okay, ooh, that could be a little bit too close. So I'm gonna actually remove that. Let's just use the water softly. Let it go. Okay, here you go. And this is good. A little bit softer. It's coming up down all the way. That's good. That's nice. We need some warm color, right? So we're also going to add some warm color in the distance. So this one can be a little bit softer. It doesn't need to be so clear. Okay, now at the bottom, I'm gonna also lift it up before I apply the white. Okay, now I'm gonna have it from here. I'm gonna add a little bit more red. A little bit more red. Okay, here you go. A little bit more closer to us. A little bit warmer. Like that. That's good. Also a little bit more red over here. Okay, this is good. Now we're gonna add some white at the bottom. So start from the poses, yeah, right here. Okay, a little bit more white, and here you go. A little bit more white right over here, and a little bit more white, and right over here. That's kind of interesting. A little bit more white, and now a little bit more white, like that. So have a nice light feeling, and even more, a little bit light right over here, even lighter. Okay, this is good. Now we're gonna also add a little bit light, maybe a little bit blue color light, and some window over here. We're gonna have that right under, right over here. There's the little window, and maybe part of window, and a little bit shape. This is good. Maybe a little bit over here too. Okay, I think this is getting more interesting into the art, and I'm gonna take a look at those. Also a little bit light onto this area, and a little bit more, and here you go, and some blue color, okay, mix into here, and need to have a lot more water, so otherwise it won't work. Okay, just a little bit more. I already trimmed the toothbrush a little bit, so okay, so we're almost like riding on a roller coaster. Okay, here you go, putting that in here. Okay, all right, it's going to be good. You maybe haven't seen enough. Okay, so that's good enough.